Calves hurt, hamstrings hurt, hips hurt, feet hurt, but otherwise, feel good. Welcome to peak week of marathon training. This is going to be my biggest training week of the Paris Marathon training block that I am currently on. So I thought I'd bring you along and show you what my training is going to be looking like across running and cycling. At the minute, of course, running is taking the priority, so the cycling comes down a little bit, but I'm hoping to get out on a couple of rides still. So before we get into it, let's set the scene a little bit. I've been running on and off for about 18 months now, and towards the back end of 2023, I had the opportunity to run the New York and Valencia Marathon in November and December. Problem was, this was a really last minute opportunity, which meant that I didn't have time to train for it, and I was in no shape to be running a marathon at that time. But there was no chance I was going to say no to that opportunity, so we went and slogged out 2 marathons in a month. We managed a time of 4 hours 39 minutes in New York and 4 hours 35 minutes in Valencia. Let's just say after the 25k mark in both of these marathons, I felt horrendous.
The Mario brothers have just overtaken me.
However, in December, not long after we'd got home from Valencia, I also had another opportunity arise to run the Paris Marathon in April of this year with Runna. And I'll be honest, I was disappointed with the times that I got in New York and Valencia, so I thought, let's knuckle down onto a proper 16-week marathon training block and see what damage we can do. Fast forward 11 weeks, and here we are in peak week of the Paris Marathon training block. And up until this point, it has been going very well. We've been grafting our arse off, and I have barely missed a session. But the question I want to know is, can I hack peak week of marathon training as a bloke who is aiming for a 3-hour 50 marathon? Let's find out. According to my runner plan, this week we have 66.5 kilometers of running to do. That is outrageous. That's going to be my biggest training week in history. I am just off the back of a 60-kilometer week, and I had a 58-kilometer week the prior week. Current status of my body is knackered, but we'll get this shit done, and it's going to be broken down into 4 different runs. I've got an easy run, interval session, tempo run, and then a monster of a long run that I'm going to do on the weekend. So today I'm just going to have a bit of a rest day, I think. Bit of active recovery on Zwift in the afternoon because I had a 30-kilometer run yesterday and my legs are currently depleted. I would normally start Monday with about a 60-kilometer ride outside, but I'm just not feeling it this morning. So what we're going to do instead is head over to Aldi and do a weekly shop to make sure I've got all the right nutrition and food, etc. to fuel this week, because when you're doing this much training, you have to eat a lot. And there is nothing worse than trying to do a hard session or a long run when you are not fueled right. That shit is not for me, Jeff. Just bear in mind, I am quite possibly the last person on planet Earth you should take nutritional advice from. I'm a fussy bastard and I don't know what I'm on about. I'm just showing you what I do rather than what you should do, so take it with a pinch of salt.
Touchdown at Aldi. Now, I don't have a list. I do have some staples that I always get, and then I'll just freestyle the rest depending on how I feel and what they've got in.
Right, we're back. I did nip into Asda on the way back just to pick up a few other bits, including chicken and bacon tortellini, 90 grams of carbs per pack, a couple of chicken and bacon pasta bakes, a few other forms of chicken, some pepperoni to go on some paninis, some bread for said paninis, more bread in the forms of toasted muffins, one of the best breakfasts around, a few forms of potato, a steak pie, a couple of protein yogurts, OJ chicken strips.
Oh, I forgot the milk.
Semi-skimmed, and some Jaffa cakes. My staple dish used to be chicken, rice and green beans or peas or something like that, but I fell ill eating it at the back end of last year, and now I just have no appetite for it. I can't stomach it, so my main sources of carbs are pasta, a ton of bread and potato. Slight change of plan. The weather is looking beautiful outside actually, so I'm going to put the road wheels and tyres onto the bike and head out for an hour or so. It's pretty messy at the minute. It's actually a bit of a disgrace, so I need to clean it at some point tomorrow.
Just going to do about an hour out here on the bike today, nice and steady, just get some blood flow into the legs, help with recovery, because we have a big running interval session tomorrow, so I need to feel fresh as I can for that.
Right, recovery hour done. Did about 24k in the end, not much in my legs after yesterday. I'm just going to spend the rest of the day chilling out, and I'll check back in tomorrow for my speed interval session at the track. It's Tuesday morning now. I'm just heading down to get some breakfast from a local French bakery. It's in Didsbury. It's called La Chaquette. Serious business when it comes to the pastry game. Goods secured. I went with the plain croissant, can't go wrong. Jade went for the pan au chocolat, and I also picked up a little bread roll whilst I was there because when in Rome. So the Garmin is saying I had a good night's kip and my training readiness is high, which is good news ahead of the interval session tonight. 12 kilometers of distance in total, broken down as follows. This is a stonking session for me. This is probably the biggest interval session I'll do of the block, but I'm actually excited for it. I'm loving these interval sessions and the tempo sessions. I'm finding my body's adapting extremely well to the stress of them. Sometimes a bit of a struggle, especially towards the end, but I do think you have to train hard to get better at running. It's as simple as that for me. I'm gonna scoot on over to the track in a minute. On feet, we're gonna go for the On the Cloudbeam Echo 3 rapid shoe. Just not that durable on the concrete, unfortunately, but on the track will be sound. Garmin heart rate monitor as well to see what my heart rate gets to. Right, track session boxed off. Good session overall. Track was hella busy, but them On Cloud Boom Echoes are a cheat code. Felt really comfortable at some quick paces. Now I'm just gonna eat and get to bed, basically. Might watch some YouTube for a bit as well. Also gonna grab a quick protein shake. I am on the OTE white chocolate protein shake, 23 grams of protein per serving, tastes absolutely banging. If you are interested in any of the OTE stuff, they do a load of different cycling and running nutrition. I have a discount code in the description for 20% off, so use that if you wish. And for dinner, oh shit, you know. For dinner, meal for one, chicken and bacon, pasta bake. Easy. Morning, it is Wednesday. My legs are feeling all right after the track last night, and on the cards today we have got some Zwift intervals, yay, and then a 10k easy run this afternoon. So let's knock these intervals out and get them done. Prepare to suffer. Right, we're going for a workout called the Ringer. It's a VO2 max workout, which is going to be just really fun. 43 minutes, let's have it. Jesus, I severely underestimated how difficult that would be. That was the hardest interval session I've ever done across running and cycling combined.
I might have a fucking heart attack. 535 watts. It's a lot harder than I thought it'd be.
Felt like I was going to be sick for about 15 minutes afterwards. That was so difficult.
I'm on about the 4th rep. Got 8 to go. Shit.
I thought 30 seconds at 535 watts can't be that hard. It's 30 seconds. Don't underestimate them VO2 max sessions. I'm not sure how easy my easy run's going to be later now because my legs are cooked. Time for the 10k easy run. Let's be having your heart rate monitor on again. And the shoe of choice is the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3. Mainly just because it is super comfortable and that is all I want for an easy run. Easy runs have actually become my least favourite session of the week. And more often than not, it ain't even easy because my legs are hurting from a track session the day before or a VO2 max cycling interval session 2 hours ago. And now I've got the proper Garmin heart rate monitor. I'm going to see how low I can keep my heart rate. I'm hoping for under 150 BPM, but we will see. My headphones today, we are going to have the Nick Bear podcast. No time for the Skepta playlist today. Easy run, boys. Sometimes running just does not feel good, and today was well and truly one of them days. I felt really weak out there after about 3k. I had to pull over and get a Lucozade. I was going to can it, to be honest, but thought I'd better grind it out. Managed to finish it in the end. Average heart rate was about 144, which is the only positive from that run. Glad to get that out of the way. These easy runs are quickly becoming my least favourite session of the week. Welcome to Thursday morning. Today we have got a pretty easy day in terms of training, just a bit of light recovery riding on Zwift to do this afternoon, and in the meantime I've got a bit of bike admin that I need to sort. I need to clean it. The headset bearing is gone, so I need to nip on over to the local bike shop to help me fix that because I have not a Scooby what I'm doing. Also need to get them to install some new brake pads because my current brake pads have nothing left. So I'm going to have some breakfast and then we'll head on over to the shop to get the bike sorted. The bike shop that I use local to me is called the Northwest Mountain Bike Centre. It's a top shop and there are some sick guys in there as well that help me out with the bike maintenance stuff. When it comes to things like switching new bearings in, I ain't got a Scooby-Doo how to do that, so I'd much rather a professional do it.
Dropped the bike at the shop. Should be picking it up later today, hopefully. I'm just going to head home, get something to eat and get this Zwift ride out of the way.
Jimmy's Coffee have sent over some goods. Let's see what we've got. Strong version, not seen that one before. Mocha and the goat flavour caramel. Nice, and they've got a new protein version of it as well. Cheers, Jimmy. Happy days, another Zwift session banked. I'm feeling motivated, probably the most motivated I've been with my training since I started all of this running and cycling malarkey. I've strung together now maybe 9-10 weeks worth of consistently running and cycling, and I'm feeling the best I've ever felt and the fastest I've ever been running. Feel strong on the bike, and I'm hoping this momentum train will last me all the way through to Paris. And I do at some point need to start upping the mileage on the bike, because a couple of weeks after the Paris Marathon, I'm hoping we can scoot on over to the Dirty Reaver gravel event. No chance I'll have the legs to do 200 kilometers, but I would love to try the 130 kilometer race. Anyway, that's Thursday's training done. I need to go pick up the bike and I'll check back in tomorrow for my tempo run. Morning, happy Friday. Wasn't expecting this snow on a Friday morning on the 1st of March. So I'm going out on a bit of a mountain bike expedition this morning, and then we're going to hit the track later on this afternoon. Mountain bike session done. 11k of slipping and sliding on snow is actually harder than you would imagine. I'm soaking wet and filthy. I'm going to get home, have a shower, warm up, and then we're going to head to the track in a bit. Just got done editing the mountain bike video. I am going to scoot on over to the track now. I'll put the workout that I got to do on the screen. It's a tempo session. It should be a bit of a grueler, to be honest, but should be a good one. Once we've got that out of the way, I'm going to get a takeaway on the way back because it's Friday night after all. Another session banked. That was a good one. Puts me on 33 kilometers for the week, and I've picked up a pizza from Domino's on the way home. I'm gonna get stuck into this, get showered, and then chill out for a bit. It's Saturday now, and because we have the biggest run of the block lined up tomorrow, 34 kilometers, I am having a total chill day. I want my legs to be as fresh as possible going into that run. Today is the day. My legs do feel fresh, but we have 34 kilometers on the cards. That is terrifying. That is a long way. And it means I'm gonna be on my feet for about 3.5 hours probably, depending on how we go. The mate I'm running with is doing 30k as well. He's got 10k comfortable, 10k a little bit quicker, and 10k at marathon pace, which is very, very similar to mine. So I think I'm going to do that workout with him, and then I'm going to see if I've got 4 more kilometers in the tank afterwards. And this is everything I'm taking on the run with me. I've got a carb mix and 4 OTE gels, super gels as well. I don't know if I'm going to take them all, we'll see how we feel. But I'd rather have too many gels than not enough, because I don't want to be bonking. There we have it, peak week, done and dusted. I think cumulative fatigue from the past 3 weeks of training really caught up to me there towards the back end of that run. It was one of them where every step was just uncomfortable, you know what it's like, no fun at all. Didn't manage the 34k, I felt so bad after like 27k. I'm not really sure what doing an extra 4 kilometers like that would have done for me. So I just decided to knock it on the head, and that's that. Still my biggest training week to date, 63 kilometers ran. And I'm really pleased with it overall. Guess going back to the original question of the video, can I hack peak week of marathon training? Not quite, but I'm not far off. And the current status update on how the body feels, even worse than it did at the start of the week. I'm stiff, I'm aching, I am knackered. And I am very much looking forward to a deload week, so I'm going to get out on the bike a bit more next week, and I cannot wait for it. So I'm going to call it there. Thank you so much if you've watched this far, and if you are in the thick of marathon training yourself, best of luck with the training. That shit never gets easier. Cheers.